In 1953, a man checked into a New York hotel. Hours later, he fell from the 13th floor. The government called it suicide, but witnesses said he was terrified before he died. What if I told you he wasn't just a victim? He was part of a secret experiment, an experiment designed to control the human mind. And what if that experiment never truly ended? This is not a conspiracy theory. This is a real, declassified operation conducted by the United States government, an operation so disturbing that even decades later, many of its details remain hidden. Its name was MK Ultra, and what it revealed about power, control, and human experimentation is more chilling than fiction. To understand MK Ultra, we need to go back to a time when fear ruled the world, the Cold War. The United States and the Soviet Union were locked in a silent war, not just for land or weapons, but for control of the human mind. American intelligence believed the enemy had already developed techniques to manipulate thoughts, extract secrets, and even control behavior. The question was simple: what if they were right? In 1953, the CIA launched a top-secret program. Its mission? To discover how to control the human mind. The program would go on to include over 150 sub-projects, many of them hidden behind fake organizations, universities, and hospitals. Even the people involved often didn't know who was funding them. And what they were about to do would cross every ethical line imaginable. At first, the experiment seemed almost scientific. Researchers tested drugs, hypnosis, and sensory deprivation. But soon, the methods became darker, much darker. Subjects were given powerful psychoactive drugs without their knowledge. Among them, a substance that would define MK Ultra, LSD. People were dosed in secret, in their homes, in bars, even in their own workplaces. Some experienced extreme paranoia, others suffered mental breakdowns, and some never fully recovered. What makes MK Ultra truly terrifying is not just what was done, but who it was done to. Ordinary citizens, prisoners, patients in mental hospitals, even unwitting members of the public. Many had no idea they were part of an experiment. They trusted doctors, authorities, institutions. But behind the scenes, they were being used as test subjects in a dangerous game. One of the most disturbing chapters of MK Ultra was something called Project Midnight Climax. It sounded harmless, but it was anything but. The CIA set up secret apartments in cities like San Francisco. They hired individuals to lure men inside. Once there, the victims were secretly given LSD, and then they were observed. Through hidden mirrors, cameras recorded their behavior as agents watched from behind the walls. It wasn't science, it was control, and it was happening in complete secrecy. And then there was Frank Olson, a scientist working with the US government. One night, he attended a meeting. During that meeting, he was secretly given LSD. Days later, something changed. He became paranoid, anxious, afraid. He began to question everything, including the work he was part of. And then, just 9 days later, he fell from a hotel window. The official report said suicide. But years later, new evidence suggested something else. Something far more disturbing. What if he wasn't meant to survive? For years, MK Ultra remained hidden, buried under layers of secrecy and classified documents. But in the 1970s, something unexpected happened. Investigations began. Journalists started asking questions, and slowly, the truth started to surface. But just as the story began to unfold, the CIA made a move. In 1973, orders were given to destroy all MK Ultra files, and thousands of documents vanished forever. What we know about MK Ultra today comes from the few documents that survived, and from the testimonies of those who were involved. But the full truth? It may never be known. How many people were affected? How many lives were changed or destroyed? And perhaps the most unsettling question of all, did it really end? Officially, MK Ultra was shut down in the 1970s. But history has taught us something important. Programs like this don't simply disappear. They evolve, they change names, they go deeper underground. And sometimes, they continue right in front of us. The story of MK Ultra is not just about the past. It's about power, control, and the limits of what people are willing to do in the name of security. Because if the human mind can be controlled, then what does freedom really mean? And more importantly, who decides If this story disturbed you, that's because it should. Because some of the darkest chapters in history are the ones we're not supposed to remember. Subscribe to Cipher Origin, where we uncover the truths hidden in plain sight.